Yeah. So I can probably do one more call
Okay.
before they call Jim here.
All right. Let's talk on what we were just
So,
speaking on about them cutting shit. So there's a video, man. I'm pretty sure you're in Pelican Bay because you're wearing a yellow jumpsuit and you're behind a window and handcuffed. And it says something about punks, and the way they cut it up was it looked like you were saying that you had a punk before or some shit, and I was like, what? I didn't
okay,
believe it.
no, that was in the ABX.
Okay.
You hear me?
Yeah,
That
I
was in the ABX and the Supermax. And I was in a regular visiting, but it's all in a plexiglass. You're behind plexiglass. And I was in chains, leg irons, waist chains, black box, and all that. I think I was in the black box, handcuff and waist chain. And that was the BBC filming me, but then they released it to A&E over here. And this is why if you ever see it on A&E, it's like they go to commercials and stuff, and then they come back, and before they actually start doing the film and talking again, there's long periods where all it's showing is Marion on your screen, on your TV, the Marion fences and gun towers with all the wire. You're hearing, it sounds, they're burning up time because they edited a whole bunch of shit out that they didn't want filmed, they didn't want released in the United States. They didn't want American citizens hearing about this shit. So, about what was really going on and what the lockdowns were really about. They're saying it was, gangs taking over shit, and they lost control of Marion to the gangs. All that's done. They were getting ready to do this war on drugs, and they're getting ready to lock up literally hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of thousands of U.S. citizens, predominantly minorities. And we know that because we got the fucking Freedom of Information shit where they had that meeting in the 70s, late 70s, down in Glencoe, Georgia, planning to lock down America. But they needed shit to happen. This is why even their own cops testified when they brought the new warden and Harold Miller in 1980, brought him into Marion. He's no Alcatraz guard. A homeboy of mine and his crew gaffed him up, tied him up out in the Rockies in the bay out there and threw him in a bush. That's Clyde Johnson and them when they tried to fucking escape way back when. Well, even the cops testified in the United States Congress that everything this new warden, Harold Miller, did seemed designed to destabilize the prisoner population and make shit happen. So statistically, they can show all these events, riots, assault, stabbings, all this shit going on, and finally say, okay, we lost control. We got to lock the joint down. And it culminated in the cops getting killed. And here's the thing, that's what I was saying. They knew minimally Clutch was going to get it because Tommy told the unit manager, Howland, I was standing right there, that he's going to put them. And they never moved Clutch, never did it. It's like there's always, it's like the government's got bigger agendas, bigger programs. And there's acceptable losses. It's like Marines storming a beach. There's acceptable casualty rates. And Clutch, I've always said Clutch was sacrificed for a bigger fucking trip they're getting ready to do in this country. And then it led to the lockdown of Marion. And then we had the lawsuit, Bushido versus Carlson. That's why they kicked me out of the court with the customer judge out, because I was trying to get all this information out. They were saying, oh no, these playing town are just mad dog killers, seeing who can put the most notches in their gun handles, the most bodies. That's bullshit. So I was trying to get it out on the witness stand. I got into it with the judge because I was trying to get out what the fuck was really going on. So what they did is they cut all that shit out. They weren't letting none of that shit being aired in the United States.
And the
You know,
the
so
way it cuts, man, is it literally just they made it seem like you're messing with punks. That's it. Literally, like there's clips. It's weird.
but they cut it that way. They did cut and paste jobs.
Yeah.
They cut sections out, cut other sections out, and then splice these in here and splice that. That's the BBC shit, and it was released through A&E over here in the United States. That's exactly the one. That film was done. I'm in the fucking the Supermax in the ADX there, and they're filming me, and a professor's there named David Ward, who's there with them, and he was there when the filming's going on. All of this is going on, and the director is Jonathan Stamp. And then somebody did something to a car, blew a car up or something over by the fucking BBC headquarters in London. Once they found out that they stole my fucking, they destroyed my original tapes, because my original tapes, before they did all that splicing shit and all this other stuff and changed my message and shit up, my tapes were saying what it really is. And then all of a sudden they destroyed it. Jonathan Stamp told my people over there, yeah, this is against BBC policy. And so, and then some other shit, like I said, something happened and over there, and then they fucking tried to tie somehow me in with the fucking IRA, and a car getting set and the car off over there. And then, so I had some people there that they start sweating them that are actually, you know, British people, friends of mine. And they had fucking, you know, Scotland Yard, special branches, all this type of terrorist shit, all that, starting to sweat them. So I had to cut them loose. There was a female and her young daughter. I had to cut them loose. And these are friends of mine. They weren't doing anything wrong. These are good people. And, but I couldn't get them involved in all this shit. So it puts a lot of heat on her and on her little daughter and all that. I got to protect them. So I had to just cut them off and step back from them. And, you know, all of that. But that's what was going on. They do all that cut and paste shit, man. They change messages. But you're always running that risk. You know, here's the bottom line. I used to tell people, I say, listen, you've got to be able to get your message out. If you don't, everybody else is going to be talking about, including your enemies. And they're going to use the news medias and everything else, and they're going to characterize you and demonize you and all that. If you don't know how to get on in the news medias, you got to be able to function everywhere. I tell people, I say, listen, man, the lowest level of the battlefield is the physical battlefield, you know, pushing steel and pulling triggers and all that. That's the lowest levels of the battlefield. The real battlefield is in the mind. And that manifests through news media, through the political stuff, through state and federal legislatures, and through the judiciary. You've got to be able to function in all them realms. I can do whatever I got to do. I can function on any level, but I can also function just fine in the news media as long as they don't fuck my messages up. And then I do law, and I also interact and communicate with legislators, you know, federal senators and Congress people, whatever, man. You got to be able to get your message up. You got to be able to function like that.
Yeah. So
you always run a risk that they're going to fucking try to change shit up on you. So
absolutely,
that's how it is, right?
And John, so since they're putting out all that misinformation, it makes me think of another thing, your air piracy case, man. You want to speak on that?
Well, what that was, the dude rolled over. We got arrested right off the tier, the range in D Block. The FBI came down to the range, got me and Gary Fowler, OB, and a Cuban named Tito, and took us to the hole. Okay, then Gary Fowler was telling him tales, and that there was some people in the streets that were going to hijack a fucking a helicopter and break us out. Well, they didn't have any other evidence other than this guy saying the so. Then we're in I unit, and they separate Gary from us, and it's me, OB, Curtis O'Brien Sr., and a Cuban, Tito Pino Perez. Good guy, good Cuban dude. And so they moved Tito up above us. Me and OB are on A range. We're maybe 5, 6 cells apart. I go to the shower. When I come out, they move me 2 cells away from OB. There's an empty cell between us now. They move a white dude in there who's a known informant. And he's there for 3 days in between us. We don't talk to him. And on a non-visiting day, he goes out and has a visit. He's talking to the FBI. I know what he's doing. He comes back that evening. The goon squad gets him. They're taking him away over to G Block, which is like an ad seg overflow, but it's also kind of like a PC spot. And on his way out, he said, "Oh, it's sure good talking to you, John." And we never talked to him. So he's going out claiming he's having conversations. They're fabricating fucking evidence on us. So he's over in G Block for a second, and then all of a sudden they find him dead, and the fuck they come over and they're trying to like insinuate somehow that I killed him or I had him killed or something. His throat was crushed. Well, I'm fucking cell blocks away. I'm 100 yards away, locked in a cell. How the fuck am I going to do any of that? So don't be trying to put that on me. Okay. Then they ran this fat Italian guy at me, and I used it in the outside brick cages. He's scared. They got him wearing a wire, and I'm telling him he's got him. There's 3 wreck cages out there, big wreck cages. He's in one. I'm in the one next to him. Then there's one behind me. And I tell him, "Hey man, there ain't no honor in this shit they got you trying to do." And I said, "I know they got you wearing a fucking wire." And he's scared. He keeps looking his eyes over at the hallway to his left. And that's the main hallway out, away from the rec yard, Adsafe rec yard. Well, they got a receiver right there. And then he kind of turns and he shows me he's got a transmitter on his belly. And I told him, "There ain't no fucking honor in that." He said, "I don't want to do it. I ain't going to do it." I told him, "Don't do it." He said, "I ain't going to do it." And he's not going to do it now. So they're fucked up about that. And he didn't do it. And he alerted me. He showed me the fucking wire. So, and then the warden or the AW, Black AW, Booker, and his cat, Easy, Booker came and told me, he says, "We got you. We're going to get you and thank you for air piracy." But I said, "No, you ain't got nothing. We weren't doing that." He said, "I'll tell you what, John, if we don't get you indicted, I'll release you back out to the main line." I told him that. So all of a sudden, their one rat is dead. He's dead. He got a crushed throat. The other one refused to do the wire thing. Fowler, he just disappeared some fucking where. They were trying to get, then they had to let the Cuban go, release him, didn't have nothing on him. Then there was a black dude, a friend of mine, who runs the El Rukins out of Chicago. His name's Malik, Jeff Short. He's the one that they got for with the rockets. The rockets supposed to be shooting fucking airliners down there, alleging that shit against him and the El Rukins. They're trying to get him and wire him in with us on the fucking air piracy thing, but they never could get him. And so finally, they ain't going to get no indictment. I thought to smash that up. I give it to the U.S. Attorney and the main ones in D.C. I did investigations on. I shut all that down. So I told him, "Okay." So they walked through. I said, "You ain't going to get no indictment. You're going to let me go?" And he said, "No." I said, "Yeah, I knew that. I knew you were not going to let me go." So. But anyhow, that's what that was. They were trying to get me on a motherfucking air piracy shit. You know what I'm saying? So.
Yeah. Hold on one
So
second.
that's what that was.
Okay. Oh well. Well, I'm not done with this. Sorry, John. Um.
Yeah. So I mean, the beat goes on. That's how it is, right?
Yeah. Hey,
They will fabricate evidence, all that. If you do legal calls, they aren't supposed to listen to them. It's supposed to be confidential. We had a black case manager one time named Scott in the federal courtroom in East St. Louis, admitted during a hearing. Yeah, they monitor our motherfucking legal calls too. So we know about all that shit.
Yeah, with Jeff Fort, man, and the El Rukins, was those the cats they were saying were in league with Gaddafi?
Yeah, yeah,
Was that true?
yeah. They were, and that. Well, they're saying they were gonna get $1 million for each fucking airliner they dropped down. But the Feds, that was the Feds doing that shit. And then the Feds did a sting and sold them a fucking deactivated solar powered rocket, like a law or something, right? And but they're just trying to fabricate shit on motherfuckers, man. It's like the shit they're doing right now today on January 6th, and old grandmas and grandpas that are pro-life. They're saying they're terrorists and shit. These dumb motherfuckers, this government is turning their own citizens, law-abiding citizens, into motherfucking basically terrorists right now because of the dirty shit this government's doing. So they get some real fucking problems in this country. They get some really fucking serious problems. that they created. So, you know,
Well,
but yeah, old Malik's for the guy. I'll tell you something else. They were trying to kill Malik. They were trying to set Malik up to get him killed. They were trying. The main one they were after was Larry Hoover, the gangster disciple. This is a conspiracy coming out of motherfucking Chicago, a political conspiracy, because they started getting, these street gangs, so-called street gangs, now are becoming political organizations. And now they got voting power and everything. And so they're starting to dilute the voting blocks that normally the regular voting, the political apparatus of Democrats, Republicans, and all that they usually get. They're diluting the minority vote. They're going after Hoover, Malik, a dude named Gino, a Latin King out of Chicago. There was a fucking conspiracy to whack these guys. And what they were going to do is they were going to use this. They were going to use this during a motherfucking a trip where they just claim it was part of the war with the DC blacks. It'd just be a few more dead blacks. You know what I'm saying?
that's fucked
And
up.
they're just what they did is they set them up to get them off the streets. Okay, lock them up, and then figure once they had them in jail, it'd be all over. They wouldn't be able to function, but they're still functioning from jail. So this is the final solution. They're just going to get whacked. So they went and they're basically trying to set the AD up, because they went to a dude and cut into him and told him they could cut a deal with him, get him out of the ADX and all that. He's seen a file, and he's seen names, big political people that are in Washington, D.C. right now. Their names were mentioned in this fucking file. And they're talking about whacking these motherfuckers, and they wanted to use cyanide. And they were trying to get this dude they're talking to commit in the affirmative, but he ain't going to do that because he doesn't know if they're wearing a wire or not. This agent, this intel agent, he doesn't know if they're wearing a wire or not. Then they'll just do another cut and paste job on his ass. And then all of a sudden they'll start whacking motherfuckers and put it off on the brand. You see? So they were trying to fucking whack Hoover and Malik and some other ones.
Oh.
It's into all that shit, believe me. So anyhow,
it's fucked up what they do, man, with those cut and paste jobs, because like they literally, people keep asking me about it. It's like, dude, I don't want to ask you about that because I know it's not fucking true with the punks and all that. It's there's
listen, what they do is they've got their own agendas. The most powerful thing in the whole universe is information.
Yeah.
Information. The whole universe is manifest through information. Universal mind. What is the word? The word is information. A word is manifest as a form. That's what a word. You say ball, B-A-L-L, you see the image of a ball. Information is the most powerful thing. Everywhere you look, you see information. So if you manipulate and control information, you control minds. This is how you create reality fields. You indoctrinate people. You control them through ideologies, theologies, everything. Most powerful thing is information. So they try to fucking use misinformation, disinformation, and all that. That's how they do that. So, but yeah, they were trying to whack them fucking dudes. So, I was making sure, certain things didn't get out and shit like that didn't happen like that. You know what I'm saying?
Well, yeah, you were trying to.
I know Hoover. I know Hoover, but I don't really know him though. But me and Malik school, he used to be my workout partner. And married me, Malik, and another black dude out of Kansas City named Biggs. We used to drive together on a tier, right? And Malik's a good fucking dude. So bottom line is I ain't letting that fucking shit out. I ain't gonna let him hook him up, get him wired up with me on a fucking air piracy case, and I sure ain't gonna let him fucking whack him. And when they were setting up the Nation of Islam, Minister Farrakhan, I warned him too through Jackie Reed on BT News. I got the word out to him. They were trying to set him and the Nation of Islam up. I stopped that shit too.
Damn.
So
we'll talk about that.
They're gonna cut us off. I'll call you tomorrow. I gotta get ready to go to the gym, man. You stay well, man. Send mine to you and your family.